Welcome to the largest movement on the planet, Bully Proof, the Upstander movement. I am excited today. We are going to have a great show. I have invited Linda Lee from Generations Against Bullying, the most progressive anti-bullying organization in the world today. We're talking about TV station coming out. I mean, a TV network coming out. We're talking about Bully Proof, the Upstander movement. We're talking about Boys and Girls Scout stuff going on. We're talking about the Jabari show, Linda Lee Plus 3 show. We are taking this bullying stuff by storm. We are talking about being an upstander and how to be an upstander and how every school in America can be an upstander. I mean, there's so much we're going to learn today from Miss Linda Lee, the executive director of Generations Against Bullying. How you doing, Linda?
I'm doing great, Michael. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for having me today.
Man, I'm excited. I want the world to know. Generations Against Bullying, a.k.a. GAB. I'm very excited. I want to kind of tell everyone that's watching and listening about the movement and why it's very important. And to be involved in this movement, all you have to do is share. If you hear my voice or if you see my videos, share. Share it with somebody, because somebody is being bullied and somebody does not know or understand a lot of stuff about bullying, and we are that place to get that information. We're going to grow together. And like I said in my first show, you know, if you missed movements back in the days, you know, you read about them in history or in history class, guess what? This is a movement to be involved in. And if you missed one, guess what? You can become part of one. And as you grow in your life, you can say, hey, I participated and I helped grow something very big and very powerful to make our country a better place. So Linda, let's talk a little bit about you and Generations Against Bullying, because obviously without Generations Against Bullying, there'd be no Bully Proof, the Upstander movement. I've been working with you guys for, I don't know, probably about 3 years now. And obviously I love it, and that's why I decided to come up with the things that I come with to try to get the message out for GAB. So when did GAB start and how did it start?
Generations Against Bullying started in December 2012 is when we became a nonprofit, a very unique nonprofit. We started because of 2 bomb threats at a local high school. It happened to be my children's high school, 2 years in a row as a direct result of bullying. I decided, what is going on? I happened to know the young girl who was the second one who wrote the bomb threat. And you know, kids don't realize that obviously SWAT comes and you have the dogs and you have the FBI. You know, you have all these law enforcement agencies and the disruption of the whole district. The district had a number of other counties come to this, and their life is totally turned upside down, even though they had no intentions of bringing a bomb to school. Neither one of them did. I watched this young girl from 3rd grade on, this most amazing, beautiful, talented young leader who loved life. Her parents were very much involved in her life.
Right.
She actually became this bitter, angry, resentful, belligerent. And what happened was she dealt with relational bullying, where the girls started to call her bad names and went against her. All her friends did. The first one, actually, they nominated him prom king, put a pig's nose on him, put him on the internet, and had blood pouring down on his face. And, you know, he just thought, well, I'm going to ruin the prom and write a bomb threat. So the charges were dropped because of the bullying. We did end up losing that individual, but the only thing he was guilty for was being socially awkward. Now, that is the reason I decided to do some research. Wow. 3 printers. I was going on my 3rd printer. I had piles waist high of information. Realizing that bullying is getting worse and the information has increased 300%, I couldn't figure out why bullycide became a terminology. Kids were actually taking their life because of this issue. So I said, something has to be done. Even though there's all this places out there, nobody answered the phone. I called and I called. I don't know, I think I spent weeks writing letters. Nobody got back to me. So I thought, why not start a nonprofit that would help to reach out to the kids and reach out to the parents and help the schools. And it grew from there.
2012. And do you think it's grown fast enough, or do you think you're getting enough attention, or do you think there's a lot of hurdles that are stopping you from growing. And I mean, why do I hear about bullying all the time, but I never see action about bullying? There's no real help about bullying. Have you came across stuff like that?
There are so many obstacles. Bullying is such a taboo. Really, even though all the awareness is out there, Michael, nobody wants to truly address this issue. This is what's so scary. It's really, honestly, bullying is like the topic of sexual harassment in the workplace. I mean, nobody wants to address this. And I don't know if the schools feel, we want to help the schools. And I think one of the biggest thing that changed Generations Against Bullying was when we were given the opportunity through Beta Rudder, who helped us create our new logo. And that's when you got involved with the Upstander movement. And we'll get back to that at a little later discussion. But I think that will really help understand what turned the tables for Generations Against Bullying.
Do you think schools may be scared of you? Like schools might think you're a threat to them or something? I mean, because if I was an administrator at a school and I seen bullying and we know that it's happening, no different than drugs are happening and everything else that's happening around our kids in our communities, and we're addressing it, do you think that they're scared of programs, on anti-bullying programs like Generations Against Bullying, and why?
I think what it is they feel that we're going to draw attention to the bullying that is happening. That's not what we're about. What Generations is about putting the problem of bullying back into the hands of the students. They are the ones that see the bullying. They are the ones that it doesn't happen in front of the administrators, the teachers, and sometimes the parents are the last to know. I think what happens is the school feels that we're going to come in and draw the attention, bring the media, bring the news. You know, that's not what any of this is about. Or, you know, the money, the lawsuits. That's not what we're about. We're not about drawing attention to the school. We're about helping the school. We're about changing the culture of learning, helping the students with the resources and the tools and the knowledge to change their school environment. Do you think any of these students want to see this in their band and drama and on the football? I mean, in their clubs, in their music, in their all their sporting events. They don't want to see this going on.
And I agree. So what I'm hearing you say is basically, if you are an administrator, a teacher, a counselor, or a PTA, or anybody that can hear our voices, we're not here to blame. There is no fault. We know this is a cultural shift amongst our kids. We can all agree that it has made a turn to the worst. That's why 160,000 kids in our country miss school each day because they don't want to face their bullying. This is why a term called bullycide came up, because kids are harming themselves. This is why we can come up with a direct correlation between school shootings and bullying. So I guess what I'm hearing you say is schools, we are not here to blame, we're here to help. There's something that's been around for a long time. I know people will say, well, kids will be kids. You know, I've heard that a lot, but the reality is kids being kids does not include missing school, does not include, at the rate that we are, does not include kids doing school shootings. It does not include bullycide. So basically, allow Generations Against Bullying to come and at least show. Is that would you say that's fair?
I think what's really unique about Generations Against Bullying is that, yes, we answer the phone. And the peers are the ones that have helped develop and design our Peer Ambassador Upstander program. They are the ones that see the bullying. They're the ones that are involved in it. Yes, let's get them involved. Studies show that will prove. I have enough evidence to show that peer-to-peer mediation is one of the most successful tools and one of the most helpful that will help to eliminate the problem of bullying, that will change the culture. And you know, Michael, you mentioned something. There are so many preconceived notions out there. We're in a whole nother world. This is a different world than what it was 20 years. You know, boys will be boys. Oh my gosh, the cyber world is different. The TV's different. The things that they show on television are different. The third graders 8 years ago, I'd go ask a whole group of third graders, and maybe 3, 4 would have a smartphone. They all have smartphones now.
Wow. Okay. And with that said, I want the listeners and the viewers to know, what is the student program that you have? What program does Generations Against Bullying offer a school, and how does it work?
Well, we have curriculum for the elementary, for the middle school, for the high school. Obviously, bullying peaks in the middle school, but I think research will show in the next 5 years that it's actually happening younger at the elementary level. It's a little more physical, but our peer program it's really a 12-month program. They meet depending on how the school wants to design it, but the peers are the ones that are involved. They're the ones that create the upstander in their environment. Let's face it, the upstander movement is really, really powerful. The kids love this because you know why? It creates the positive environment of wanting to be a hero. The upstander movement, what we've done to address bullying is that we've turned this ugly, nasty topic into something possible, something positive that kids want to get involved with at all levels. Who doesn't want to be a hero?
How does it work? Like, I'm Michael Turner Academy of the Arts, and I have 500 kids at my school. How does that work? What do you do to bring that into my school and implement it? I'm curious about that.
Well, the most important thing is you have to get a passionate facilitator that's going to be willing to meet with the group on a bi-monthly basis.
You mean staff member or something like that? Really,
to make this successful, you need a staff member and have a parent that would help the staff member, but you need somebody in school and you need the administration. This has to be a whole a school-wide effort and a community-wide effort, but really what it starts out is recruiting the peer ambassadors to become, you might start with 3 or 4. When we started our pilot program, we started with 10. Within 4 years, it ended up to be 240 that had gone through
in one school.
Program. In one school.
Oh wow, nice.
In one school.
And how did it work?
They met monthly and they met bi-monthly. They wanted to do projects. They wanted to meet more often. They actually met on their own because these are the kids that got other kids when they'd see things go on in the lunchroom. They would intervene when they seen things go on in the hallway, when they seen things in the bathroom. As they started recruiting more and more, it started changing the culture of learning.
What is an upstander? I mean, I want to define so everyone knows exactly what an upstander is, what a bystander is, because I think that's very important because it leads to exactly who we are and what we are. What is the upstander and how did that develop?
Well, that really the founding statistic that really changed everything was 85% of the time, the bullying will stop in the first 10 seconds if the bystander becomes an upstander in a non-threatening way. So let's just think about that for a moment. Think how powerful that can be. What is the first thing that the kids do when they start to see bullying?
Laugh,
pull out their phones, record, take pictures.
Right.
You know, what the upstander does is they intervene in a non-threatening way. They don't stand by and watch this go on. There's so many ways that they can intervene in a non-threatening way in school.
And you know what's weird is, as an adult, I actually saw a bullying situation, on a street that there was a lot of clubs. It was summertime. There was a fair down the street, and I happened to be going that way. And I seen this guy just relentlessly bullying this person. And of course, as an adult, I didn't want anything bad to happen to me or my friends I was with. But I had to make a decision because I'm an upstander. I took the upstander pledge, and I said, what can I do to help this guy? And immediately all I did is I walked up to the guy that was being bullied. I said, hey, there's an old friend over here that wants to talk to you. And as I was saying this, I grabbed him by a hand and I just walked him away from the other guy. But right there, I seen the other guy seeing that it was me and there was other people with me. We didn't say nothing negative or we didn't get aggressive. I just said what I said. Hey, we have an old friend that wants to talk to you, and I grabbed his hand and kept walking. So it took him out of the bullying situation, and it ended. So it definitely ended in 2 seconds, actually, because, and it just reinforced that one thing. So with that said, like GAB 2020, what is on the horizon for GAB 2020? And by the way, I want to let you guys know, we have so much information on the GAB website. It's gabnow.org, and there's a lot of stuff you can see there. But I want you to tell me, like, since inception of GAB in 2012, and now we're in 2020, what's going on with GAB today?
I think what's really important today is to get our peer ambassadors in every school throughout the United States, globally. So I think today we're working with Britain,
Okay.
And
the UK, Britain, the
yes,
UK.
we're working with the UK,
Okay.
and we're going to merge our programs. They have an amazing cyberbullying educational platform for elementary and middle school
Nice.
children.
And who's we?
Gooseberry Planet.
Gooseberry Planet. Who's
Gooseberry Planet.
Gooseberry Planet.
Planet is from the UK, and they have an amazing cyber bullying education platform that addresses so many aspects of the bullying, that the cyberbullying, that our parents don't even understand, teachers may not even understand, administrators, even we don't even understand some of the. I mean, one day an app's down, one day it's up. I mean, it's really hard to keep up with this.
Okay, and I want the listeners to know that we have a television network coming that will be in the streaming environment, like Roku, Apple TV, Disney Plus, Fire Stick. If you have the streaming technology, or even on a computer, what is the name of that network, and what is it meant to do?
The Upstander Network is meant to help create the awareness and education to help those that are out there that are struggling, or that maybe feel they have no hope. There is hope. That's one thing we have to emphasize. There is always hope out there. This is a short period in their life, and this will change. They have to know that they're not alone, that this
Right.
is something that will stop.
And I think that's one of the main reasons I, came up with the Bully Proof, the Upstander movement, is because we want we want the parents to know, and we want all the adults to know that we have a place, and we're creating a place to create information, so you can see that there's other parents frustrated like you. There's other parents that don't understand but want to understand. There's other parents that want to be involved. We want to give you the involved place. We want to give you the place where there's actually learning. Gab has everything that we need. Tons of knowledge and tons of education and resources. And also, kids. I'm going to be interviewing so many kids through Gab and on this channel here, the Upstander movement, Bully Proof, just so kids can see that we're not alone. Oh, this kid is going through what I'm going through, and come up with solutions, come up with ways that we can, as a community, figure this out. Because one thing in my history mind is every time things went bad for America, we all of a sudden rallied together and made it good. And we overcame stuff all through history. And this is one of those movements right here that I'm so passionate about this movement. And I'm begging you, if you hear my voice, share. That's what this movement is about. Sharing, so another human being does not have to go through it, so another human being can participate in it. So,
Well, let me share something with you, Michael. Let's
Sure.
face it. The Medical Association, the Psychological Association, has deemed bullying an epidemic in our nation. Let's face it. We have a epidemic that, and I want to reiterate something about the schools. I understand there's frustration. We know none of these schools want bullying going on in the classrooms, and having a child that's taken their life, or a child that lost their life in the bathroom because she was beaten. This isn't. They don't want this either.
We can't
hide this.
We have to address
Yes,
it
exactly.
together. Teamwork
Exactly.
makes the dream work. That's how I look at it. But good, I apologize. You were saying
that's that's the issue that we have to confront, and I think that this is a unique way of taking this approach, the Upstander approach, that every student, parent, there are so many ways, athletes, that we can become upstanders. What about that person sitting there eating lunch alone, feeling sad? You know what? It's the upstander that's going to get up and take their tray and sit next to the student and have lunch with them. It's the person that's coming to the door holding a bunch of books, and an upstander will go and open the door for that person.
Right.
It's little things like that will change the dynamics of the school environment.
Absolutely. Now, my question is, have you worked with national or local or any type of organizations that have names that might, that you're helping out, that have come to Gab and seen the value in Gab and implemented it in their already existing programs? Can you name a few?
I love the Boys and Girl Scouts of America. We deal with the Southeastern chapter in Wisconsin, which has over 70,000 households. And the Scouts just absolutely love the Upstander program. They have a bullying patch. We have an Upstander patch, which is something they earn and learn how to. And, many people do not know what the upstander means. They don't know what an upstander is.
Tell us. We want to know.
An upstander is the main thing is an upstander is a hero. The character of an upstander is a person that's positive, that's positive, that has the I just went through a blank.
That's okay. We always go through blanks. What is an upstander? We're going to get the mind going. What is an upstander? Blanks are okay. I have them all the time. So anyway, upstander to me is somebody that just really is, I call it a good kid, a great kid. But we're going to give it a cool name now, because being an upstander is important, because they're so desperately needed in our society now. And it's great to be an upstander. I mean, I should be having all you guys on all my social media running to me. I should have 1 million people lined up to say, Michael, I want to be an upstander. Michael, I want to take the upstander pledge. And guess what? I want to be bully proof with you, because, bully proof is a concept to me. And the reason why I put bully proof on the top here is because it's searchable. You guys can find me with bully proof, but we can all make upstander just as searchable, and we can even switch it, because that's what we want to be as upstanders. But bully proof is a concept. Bully proof means to me is I will not bully anybody, and I will not allow anyone to bully me, and I won't stand by, and I will not let nobody be bullied. So it's just a concept, but it's all about the upstander. And I'm an upstander. So if you're a good parent, good kid, and you want to treat people fairly, and you want to put a lot of your prejudice to the side, and just know that we all have a common cause, and that, we're in a very bad situation right now, and our kids are crying out for our help, and it's up to us to stand up for them and say, hey, we're going to protect you, and we're going to get involved. We're going to be upstanders together. We're going to be bully proof together, and we're going to go through generations against bullying, and we're going to learn all we can, and we're going to support the most proactive. And what I mean by the most proactive is, like I said, we answer the phone. We have a curriculum right now that we can place in any school from K-5 to 12th grade, and we have a speaker series. What else do we have?
We have movie night. We have puppet show. We have all kinds of
school assemblies. So our army's ready. We just don't have the manpower. We need you guys to come get involved, Let's get in all the schools. And this is an important thing that I know that we've struggled with for years is, how can somebody, I know schools don't have a lot of money in a lot of instances to afford, especially now, a program like this, but what are some good ideas to get people involved, to maybe sponsor a school, sponsor a bunch of schools? Help me out understand.
Well, we have some fundraising for the students to get involved in. Also, they have, you have your local PTAs, you have your businesses love to get involved. They love to be part of this. They love to put their name on they can put their name on the curriculum, the banner, and then they get to put their upstander school decal on the school. And what makes it so special is the kids want to be part of this. A lot of kids don't want to put that big circle on their back that says no bullying with the cross, They don't want to wear that. What happens the first thing they do when they walk down the hallway is they get pushed. Right. Or someone knocks their books out. But the upstander is something that they want to be part of. They want to be part of this movement. These kids are crying out for something. They really are desperate. They want change. Now we're at the point where we're having more schooling at home. We have schools that are taking students who are just dealing with after the bullying. They can't be part of the mainstream. This is really sad that we have to continue with all these kids who have to homeschool because...
So basically, we're not even looking at the fact is psychological things happen to someone that's bullied and tormented and whatever they go through in front of their peers in school, where they get some type of disconnect or some type of phobia or something away from being around school and other people. And I'm sure from embarrassment and just being scared. So what I'm hearing basically is that things happen after the fact. So we need to figure out before the fact and get the upstander program going. So
see, that's one of the things we need. We want to prevent the detentions, the absenteeism, the suspensions. We want to get there before all this happens.
Right.
We want to get there before that person wants to write the bomb threat, before that one student's home talking about getting a gun, doing things that they want to do that to hurt another individual or hurt themselves.
Right.
Before that kid sits in the dark room thinking that I can't go on because I can't go to school. I'm too scared. We want to get there before then.
Yeah,
before this happens.
It just blows my mind to even think that a child would think about taking their life when they have no clue. You know, it's like you're talking about death. You don't even have a clue about life yet. You haven't seen nothing. It hurts my heart to know. And this is another reason why movement people, I am so serious. Linda Lee is so serious about this movement. And we are going to build an army of upstanders. And I'm telling you, the movement, share. That's how important it is to me. And what I was hearing, and I want to go back a little bit, back to we do have fundraising capabilities for schools to be able to get the program into their school. But if you're a local business owner, I mean, it's a tax write-off. If you're a local business owner, it makes your business shine. I'm a business owner. So, to support a school, it makes you feel good. If you're a regional company, support a couple other schools. If you're a national company, you guys are making billions of dollars off of us and our children, and I'm not calling you out in a bad way. I'm just saying I know things cost money, but we need help. We need help from you big giants. We have a big giant problem that's going to really affect all of us, even the corporate America companies, the regional companies, because guess what? If we don't have kids coming out of high school robust and strong and mentally focused, it's going to affect us no matter what. That's why I say this is a national security crisis. People think I'm nuts sometimes. Mm-hmm. This is that big because we're looking at today. What about tomorrow? See, we've become such a selfish nation. We're only worried about today. What about my next generation? How are you going to leave, and what are you going to leave for your kids' kids? See, that's when you become unselfish, because how is our economy going to be if these kids are, committing suicide? These kids they're missing school so much, they're not really getting the education and the preparation to come out. So this is definitely going to affect our economy because it's growing, like you said, by 300% in 2 years, right?
Well, see, that's one of the things that I think there's so many out there that will relate to this. The emotional scars from bullying last a lifetime. Now, let's face it. It doesn't just stop at the high school doors and all of a sudden, boom, it's all over with. And bullying, they're better and they're great. No, this affects their relationships in their marriage, their work relationships, their relationships with their adult friends. I mean, this goes on. I have a 70-year-old author who, to this day, will knows the bully. Let's face it. I think you all know who the bully is. And again, we do have to talk about how we want to help the bully. So that's another topic.
But it's a very important.
Yes,
I don't want to go and finish your thought, and then I want to address that. Finish your thought.
The emotional scars last a lifetime. Wow. This is our future generation. And look at the damage. I see it because we've been doing it full time. You see it because we've been doing it full time, all the time. You see what's happening to our children. And again, big businesses out there, they can help support a district. Support a district.
What's and that's my whole point. We got to start learning to help each other. It's rewarding. One thing I can tell you is when I go to a school and I speak at a school, and I've had a lot of rewards in life. There's nothing that can compare to young children coming up to you and just wanting to hug you. Young children coming up to you and saying thank you. Young children coming up to you and saying, you know what, I was a bully and I don't want to be a bully no more. And kids that are telling me I'm bullied and I don't know what to do. And I have like 10 seconds or 30 seconds because there's a line of kids to give them the best advice or information or anything that I can plant the best seed in their heart to let them know why they are so important and why the everything about them, their existence. I call all young people in America royalty to me. We don't have a monarch system, but they're princes and princesses because they are by default going to inherit this great military, this great economy, this great nation of many different cultures and people. And there's a responsibility that comes with that. And I think that we have gotten away from teaching people that this is America, the land of all, the land of the free. You know what I mean? You don't hear that conversation anymore. It's about video games and stuff like that. So I want to bring this stuff back. And it's all basic stuff that we can work together and bring it back. You know, we just got to change the dialogue a little bit. But corporate America, regional America, local America, come on. This is a movement, man. Be involved. This movement here called the bullying epidemic will be in the history books. Do you want to be part of the solution or do you want to be part of the problem? I know the answer already. So let's get together and let's work together. I mean, do you agree?
I agree. I think we have to create upstanders around the world. We have that right now. We're looking for all those out there to create upstander stories. Share them with us. Whether it's the students, the parents, we're looking for the world to join us in this movement.
Absolutely. And back to the bully. I was a bully. Face it, I was a bully. I was bullied very bad, and I turned into a very bad bully that probably cost people a lot of time in prison, cost people their lives. In some cases, I don't know, where it goes. And like I told you in my first episode, that I'm the extreme example of the things you don't even think about what would happen to you by being a bully. Because think about it this way. We only think about the bullying somebody, and then it goes online, and then it goes, and then other kids get involved. But think about it this way. I was bullied, but the people who saved me from being bullied were the wrong people, and I don't want to take any juice from them because they passed away and they were really good friends of mine at the end of the day, and, I hope they're in the right place. But they were the gang leaders in my neighborhood that helped me because I was bullied. Two gang leaders saw that I was being bullied, helped me, protected me, forced me to use violence at that point when they caught me, when they seen that I was being bullied. But then I became a gang member. Would have never thought that was part of the bullying. Would have never thought that could happen. Because I looked up to these guys now because they saved me from pain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They became my influential role models. Then from I would never know that because I became a gang member that I would be a drug dealer. I didn't know that. All I wanted to do was have friends and stop from being bullied. I didn't know that I was going to be influenced so much that I was going to go spend, 15 years of my life in and out of federal and state and local and boys' homes and jails. I didn't know I was going to lose that much of my life, but guess what? The root was bullying. Had I not have been bullied, or maybe, and don't get me wrong, this doesn't happen to everyone, but I would have never thought that being bullied would have made my life as bad as it was. And obviously it was more choice and more I didn't listen. But the reality is it happened. So I can't look at the what ifs. I got to look at the fact is I was bullied and I became a really bad bully. And everything that followed that was nothing but hell. Nothing but all the bad things that you do not want. Trust me. So with that said, I still want to hear Gab. Give me the infomercial, Gab 2020. Tell me all the things that are going on with Gab. The things that, and what's Gab's, I get their goal. We want to get it in all the schools in the world. But I know you got a lot of exciting things going on. Talk about your show coming out. Talk about the Jabari show. I just want to hear, and I want you to get everybody excited about this movement. Get me excited.
I think something that's really going to help change Generations Against Bullying is going to be the Upstander Network, the streaming. I think the students now that are getting smarter with their phones, with their computers, with their tablets, with the video, we want the students to get out there and create their own upstander stories. These are our future leaders. Do you know the skills that are gained by becoming a peer ambassador? Not only do you get the leadership, the courage, the
citizenship,
the
understanding, love,
kindness, motivation, the challenge. We have students now that were peer ambassadors that are now RAs in college. And because they dealt with conflict resolution, because they looked at their resume and see what this offered for kids to gain those skills and that knowledge to become upstanders in their school. There were so many situations that they learned how to change that the outcome could have been terrible, could have been horrible.
Right.
So we got a lot of exciting things. We want to get the kids can earn money for not only themselves but for their schools by reporting upstander stories. Do you know how many kids can change by not participating, not videotaping, and by getting involved in this upstander movement? If we can change this, we can change one school at a time. We can change them all, Michael.
You know, and I agree, and it comes down to this, and I always tell people that, like, if there's a group of kids, you know, we're cliquey, you know, this group hangs with them friends, and I have my friends. I have brothers and sisters around my age, so they had their friends, she had her friend, I had my friends, but yet we were generally all friends, but yet we were clicked, you know, like that was their little friends and my little friends. But what I always tell people, especially this is an example. If you guys, say it's you and 4 of your friends, and you see a bullying situation, this is what an upstander would do. An upstander, one, would not give that, like I said, and even if you weren't an upstander, you were still a bystander. You haven't got the courage yet to come over. Don't look at what the bully is doing. Don't laugh at it. Don't put your phone out. Just ignore it. Because what happens is, whatever friends that you hang with, everyone's always watching. But at the end of the day, you don't give it any fuel. You don't give it any attention. So then the bully has no one to impress. But at the end of the day, everybody will know you guys as the guys that are cool, the guys that are, you know, leaders, because you're not going to, you know, give any acknowledgement to what this bully is doing. So make it part of who you guys are. That's a big thing. Just don't be followers, be leaders, and we don't like bullying in our group of friends. We don't agree with it. We think it's unfair, it's selfish, and it's not right. Right there, you know, is the first step to being an upstander and being a true leader in your school. And again, to the bully, I don't know if we hit the bully. I mean,
no, we didn't. That's another time.
We're not against you.
No,
we're not against you. We're going to make it right now because I want you to know, bully young lady, bully young man, we're not against you. I know you can change. I don't know why you are the bully, but this is what I do know. Something's going on. Don't know what it is. I don't know if you're not getting enough attention. There's some things going at home. But one thing I want you to understand is, you can make a shift. You can choose to be an upstander. You can choose to be a good person, a good kid. And I think by you dialing into us and listening to these shows and getting on gabnow.org, I know for 1,000,000% fact that we can change the way you think about why you bully and make you not a bully anymore, because I was a bully and I would never bully anybody. So with that said, come join me. We're not against you. This isn't a war against you. You're not the bad guy or the bad girl. You're just a person. You're just a kid that needs some redirection, some knowledge, and maybe some comfort. And let's figure out what's going on in your life so we can make things better for you. I mean, is that?
That sums it up.
Yeah. So what I want you guys to know more than anything in the world is this show here. I'm introducing Linda Lee. She's the executive director of a very progressive, very fast-moving and fast-growing nonprofit called Generations Against Bullying. It's been around since 2012, and today you're going to get a lot of information, and we're going to give you the website because that's the best information. And if you really have to call us, you can call us. But over the next few weeks and the next few months, as we grow with this YouTube channel and this podcast, we're going to get the best information out to you. But again, we have a TV network that's coming out. And we have a lot of stuff that you're going to learn, and we want to direct you to that so you can share that with people, because this is a real movement. So again, Linda Lee, Generations Against Bullying. Is there any final words or anything that you want somebody to say or talk about, or anything that we forgot? I think
just remember, share your upstander story, and remember that there is hope. We're here. We're not going away.
Awesome. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining me on Bully Proof, the Upstander Movement. We are the largest movement in the world today, and we're going to be larger. I want to become the largest movement in the universe. You know, and I know that probably don't make sense to everybody, but if you dream big enough and you set goals high enough, I promise you can make them come true. I did it. You know, I'm a master at change because, again, like I said, I started from the bottom of the barrel. I wasn't even in the barrel, on the barrel, around the barrel. I was somewhere deep on the bottom. So I feel I'm on the top of the barrel now. So if you're ready to change, willing to change, I promise you, you're talking to the right guy, because I don't care where you're at, where you're from, what you believe. And when I say I don't care, I don't want you to think I don't care of what happened to you or what's going on with you. I do care about that, but I'm telling you, we're going to use that, whatever's going on in your life, as motivation, inspiration, fuel, and it's going to be the thing that changes everything that you believe in around. So again, thank you again, and I will see you next week. Upstander Michael Turner, I'm checking out.
Thank you, Mike.
Have a great week. Thank you, Linda Lee.